Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Coffee Break, and I am back with the CoffeeCast ProCast edition, where I am featuring EmpireKas, who is spawning on the bottom side here on ESL Metalopolis, and on the top side we have LiquidZenio spawning as the red Zerg player. And holy crap. Holy crap, holy crap, holy crap, holy freaking crap, holy crap and crap even, because these two players have had two amazing games so far. The first one was 37 minutes long, the second one 34 minutes long. Who knows how long this game is going to go on for? Well, I do, because I looked at the timer before I started, but that is beside the point. These two players have had a ridiculously explosive matchup. This is from the IEM Global, and it is a best of 5 series. Originally, I was intending on telling you guys who won the best of 5 series at the end of the series, but instead, I think I'm going to finish casting the series tomorrow and upload the VODs to YouTube. So you guys will just have to go ahead and either cheat by going to a website and finding out who won, or just going to have to watch the VODs on YouTube whenever I do eventually get around to casting those and getting those up online. These two players are tied up 1-1 right now in this series. Once again, very intense games 1 and 2. Both players really could have taken either game. Kas won the first game just by being good, and I'd really say Zenio could have won, except he went Ultralisk. And what do players do when they want to lose? They go Ultralisk. I mean, it's just a fact. I am sorry. On the other hand, Zenio did come back in the second game, went for the same composition without the Ultralisks, and was able to actually lay down about a 7 or 8 minute siege on EmpireKas' planetary fortress in the middle of a map, in the middle of a terminus, and eventually broke that, and that was kind of like breaking EmpireKas' spine, as he no longer had a super defensible position, and was able to take that game away from Kas. That was another very exciting game. And so I'm very interested to see what these two players may be bringing for us in game number 3 now, as they've had some very good games up to this point. We do have LiquidZenio once again going for this hatch first on 15, then the extractor spawning pool, get his metabolic boost out, get his macro lead going, and once again, as always, we have the barracks over here, which is going to drop a reactor, which is going to switch off at the factory, make 6 to 8 Hellions, lay down a command center, lay down a bunch of more barracks, then get a tech lab on the factory, get siege tanks. That is just how these two players roll. They have their comfort zone and they stick to it. We've seen each of them win once with their preferred style of play. So it's not like either of them has a superior build order in that right. Pardon me. It's just a very even matchup, and it does look like we did have a first game where he is in heat disc. First game where he is in the disc. I don't know what that was. It did look like there was a pause and a little bit of lag there, probably. So one player was forced to quit the game. Nonetheless, does have a queen up, is beginning larva inject, is getting this spine crawler just as a precautionary measure because he has not yet scouted his opponent. Probably knows that he's going for these Hellions, and even if he isn't going for these Hellions, having a spine crawler or two up front never ever hurts. Always have that extra little bit of defense. Couple of Marines and Hellions out on the field now. The Zergling was able to spot the expansion. I don't think you will be surprised at all to see that expansion. And there's not really all that much to speak about as to what the players are doing, because it's just so incredibly standard. I mean, once again, I guess I could mention for you Terran players, it's a very solid build, just going for that barracks, then the factory, and getting this reactor. It allows you to get map control with the Hellions, which counters the map control granted by the Zerglings. And then you can also secure your expansion with that, because the Zerg can't push out unless he goes for some crazy roach push. And it also allows you to build this third command center in your main base to keep up with the economy. And it does look like he dropped that probably around 34 supply or so. It allows you to keep up with the economy of the Zerg player, and when you want to, you can just lift that off and take your own third base. So it's a very nice, easy build. The Zerg players, the 15 hatch versus Terran, don't use it versus Protoss, but versus Terran is a very nice standard build. It's good for a macro lead. It's a little bit greedy. It can be punished, especially by bunker harass, but it's fairly safe generally if you're just not I mean, as long as you get this spine crawler down and get your metabolic boost out fairly quickly, you will be pretty good to go in that right. Getting the one evolution chamber out, probably will see the second one dropped fairly shortly, as that is what he has been doing. We do have 5 Hellions running around over here. The 6th one just now coming up to join the party. Was able to force the cancel on one of the spine crawlers, now remaking that. Looks like he's going to be trying to come around the back, and he's actually going to be able to come up and fry away 2 drones. Might even pick up another 2 from these gas guys, but no, actually, it does look like he actually has decent positioning right now. The Queen coming up, needs to make sure to focus fire. The weak one indeed does. 2 Hellions have now gone down. These drones may not want to come down quite yet, as they are rather bunched up right now, and these Hellions doing a little bit of harassment, just being kind of annoying. Not doing, once again, a lot of damage, but all you really need to do is just that little bit of damage, and it's enough to keep the Zerg player on their toes. It's enough to secure just a slight lead. You see that he did kill 2 workers and stopped mining for a little bit of time, which just stopped Zenio from going drone crazy in the early game, which you want to avoid pretty much at all costs. And now once again, that's the point of these Hellions, is not to kill, it's not to do crazy amounts of damage, but to hold the Zerg player up while you catch up to them. That's just the nature of Terran versus Zerg right now. Once again, it does look like EmpireKas is going to go for some fairly heavy biological play. Zerglings and Banelings coming up, forcing the runaway by these Hellions. Very nice play by him in that right. Has the one bunker up here at the front. Might want another one just in case the Zerg does try to come out with some crazy Zergling Baneling aggression. But actually, we are going to be seeing the Spire just like we have in the past. Where is this? Where is the Spire? It's around here somewhere. I actually cannot find it to save my life. Oh my gosh! I swear it's hidden somewhere. I'll find it at some point. I literally have no idea. Is that it? No, those are overlords. Well, in the meantime, while I try to find the hidden Spire, can I just like click on it and nope. Wow. Wow, I have no idea. We do have quite a nice little push out of Marines here. I really hope we do see EmpireKas keep up with the drop play. That is something I feel is very underutilized by Terran players in the metagame right now. Under the overlord. Oh, there it is. Thank you, chat, for telling me exactly where that Spire was. This is the classic strategy of hiding your buildings under your overlords and hope that your opponent doesn't see it. And unfortunately, it also works against the caster. We do have a lot of Marines pushing up right here with a couple of Hellions to support to try to fry away at some of those Zerglings. The Banelings are moving up as well. Nice snipe on the Banelings with those Marines, though that is very hard to do. Just clicking on those little units, but that is what these guys get paid to do. And nice job splitting the Marines up, making sure the individual Marines take the damage instead of all the Marines at once, and now able to clean up all the units there for Zenio. And there are a few Marines and drones left to try, a few Zerglings and drones left to deal with that, and indeed they do. They are able to mop up after that. Another nice engagement by EmpireKas. You do see the Zerg player behind by about 500 minerals in that unit lost tab. And now we see EmpireKas has gone ahead and taken his third base, just floated that command center that was sitting in this exact spot over there. Taking an armory for Thors as well. And I believe the second engineering bay, yes indeed, right there, right next to the armory. Getting, once again, lots of reactors down on his barracks. Not going the MKP style of just throwing down 20 barracks instead. We do have a couple siege tanks out on the field. I don't yet, no, siege tank is not done quite yet. So we do have a couple siege tanks and Marines pushing out towards this top expansion once again. Mutalisks are on the field, however, now and needs to be careful not to let his tanks get picked off by those Mutalisks. And once again, just now starting siege check. I don't know if once again that was him forgetting it or if that's part of the plan, but he definitely has the resources saved up to be able to do that. So that's kind of a controversial thing. I think that he should begin that just a little bit earlier, but that is me and not him. Having a nice little backup army back here, just waiting around for the Mutalisks. And now it doesn't look like the Mutalisks, once again, just flying the Mutalisk around the map, making sure that he maintains the map control. He'll be able to see drops this way. He'll be able to take out this watchtower, so EmpireKas does not have the vision granted by that. It's just an all-around good way to keep your opponent a little bit kind of guessing as to what exactly you're doing, and that's never a fun feeling as a Terran player or as an opponent in general. You always want to have an idea of what your opponent's doing. and LiquidZenio is going to go ahead and take his fourth here. We do have this nice little ball of Mutalisk, forcing the stim up on a couple of Marines there. Not going to be too big of a deal. Actually managing to take out one Mutalisk, not able to quite get the second Mutalisk, and the Mutalisk, they were able to take out a couple Marines. I think he was wishing to take out a couple of these medevacs. Actually, all the units are up in the medevacs right now. The Mutalists have a huge opportunity right there. But no, indeed, they actually missed out a little bit. And it looks like EmpireKas might be running down to take out this fourth base, scouting out for a fifth up here. Not going to be able to find it, however. Very nice positioning by LiquidZenio. And by EmpireKas, LiquidZenio is not going to quite be able to run up the ramp there to be able to take those out. Not going to be able to get the Mutalisk in because the Marine's sitting in the middle of this tank ball. And instead, he's just going to go for a Mutalisk counterattack. I don't know if there's a Thor back. There is a Thor back right now, so it's going to need to be very careful about that. But however, he is in the mineral line now for EmpireKas. Going to be able to do a little bit of damage before the Thor and these Marines do get back. In the meantime, the cancel on the fourth was forced. These Mutalisks, whoa, they took a lot of damage from that Thor. I don't think the Thor was able to get any kills. Got one kill, but that was a lot of damage done to those Mutalisks. Those are going to have to fly back and just kind of survive for a little bit, for a little while. Try to get their health back. Try and take out this one, take out the high ground. The second half of with these Marines in place to scout that out. A lot of Zerglings over here going to stop this command center from landing, more likely not, and now trying to take the fourth at the gold base rather than the 9 o'clock position, I believe that is. Yeah, the 9 o'clock position there. The Zerglings actually not, just waiting for that command center to land and immediately lifting it back off. It's like a little bit of a dance. Zerglings still not able to run up the ramp there. They keep trying to, but just doesn't quite have the manpower to go ahead and run up the ramp. And now these Zergling Banelings are going to be used up on the siege tanks and Marines back here. Not going to be able to do really any damage. And now trying to run up the ramp once again, killing a lot of those Marines with the Banelings and finishing off everything with this Mutalisk ball, getting dangerously close to that critical mass number of Mutalisks, which is around, I'd say between 25 and 30 Mutalisks is when you have critical mass, and you can really just kind of go around engaging whatever the hell you please. The fourth base is now up for EmpireKas, turning that into a planetary fortress. Just about maxed out. EmpireKas is doing a pretty nice job of keeping up with the supply, losing a couple of siege tanks and medevacs to these Mutalisks, however. Going to be kind of an annoying thing. Trying to get these Zerglings in before the planetary fortress is finished, and actually does manage to get this round on that planetary fortress, so no repair can go down on it, and it is indeed going to die. A very, very nice move by LiquidZenio, taking out that base, and now running out of here, content with the damage he has done, not trying to go for those SCVs. Nice move by LiquidZenio to run in and just snipe a base, just as EmpireKas was able to snipe this base before it finished, actually. So, I'd actually say that LiquidZenio came out a little bit on top in that little base trade. Mutalisks are running into the main base now of EmpireKas, able to take out a couple of reactors on the barracks. That's just going to slow the production down. In the meantime, Zerglings are running over here, forcing the cancel on that command center once again. Mutalisks trying to take down this command center in the middle of the main base. A lot of oh gosh, I'm getting the razor mixed up. A lot of Marines and siege tanks moving out across the map. It does look like there's going to be mass repair on this command center. Should probably start focus firing those SCVs and Marines instead of the command center itself. Now there is quite a scary push coming out of EmpireKas here. A lot of Marines and siege tanks pushing up into the fourth base. This fourth base is surely going to fall. The Mutalisks are still in the main base doing quite a bit of damage. Mass repair still going on that orbital command, and indeed that is going to live for the moment. The Mutalisks flying out. The siege tanks are completely undefended over here in the back. The Marines are going to take a couple seconds to try to defend that, and a lot of Mutalisks did go down in that previous battle. We're down to only 8 rather than about 20, so a little bit of a hit was taken by LiquidZenio in that last battle. Doesn't quite have the Mutalisks to just flock in and do all the damage you might want. Now back up to 15, just getting a few more spawned in, but this Thor looking awfully menacing right now. Wants to make sure not to get those Mutalisks too clumped up and near that Thor. Siege tanks pushing up once again. A little bit of a slow push coming out of EmpireKas. Sieging up is just a little bit too late. Those the Zerglings and then they are going to be swarming in, doing a very, very hefty number on this army for EmpireKas. But it does look like Kas is going to come out just a little bit on top in this case, saving a siege tank and a few Marines back to live and run away with. More Mutalisks and Banelings might want to come over here and try to mop this up. However, the fifth base is now up and running. However, I don't know if it's going to be able to survive or not. I think it's going to be kind of close, but it is going to go down. Yes, indeed, it's going to go down. The Marines were just a little bit too much with that medevac support, doing as much damage as they possibly could. But these Mutalisks are going to be able to pick off the medevacs, and the Zerglings were able to pick off all of the Marines. But it doesn't matter too much because EmpireKas already has another army macroed up and beginning to push out. The fourth and sixth base, are once again going down for LiquidZenio. He does have this gold base up and coming, which means that his income is very, very high, 2,200 to 1,000 of EmpireKas. Definitely a macro advantage going to LiquidZenio in this game. Trying to get the surround once again on the command center. Is not going to get the surround, but is going to manage to pick off a few SCVs and is now forced to engage this stemmed up ball of Marines. And now Bailey's rolling in, trying to do damage, but blew up too soon. Just died all right there. That was not from any sort of doing. Oh, that was from doing. That was definitely from doing of these siege tanks. Did not see those in position right there. If LiquidZenio did manage to get some Broodlords out, he could do a very nice siege against this planetary fortress. Just put the Broodlords over in the dead space here. Only Vikings and can really get at that. I guess Thors as well, but it can be very, very difficult, dropping a lot of mules on the gold base. And this is actually the reason. Oh, I'll come back to that in just a second, because there is an engagement up on the top highway here. Some infections coming into the field, throwing down fungal roads on all the Marines, which are going to live, because you do need 2 fungal roads to kill Marines. Fungal roads doing 40 damage, Marines having a minimum of 45, but these Marines are combat shield having 55. The GSL has, what I was going to say, has eliminated gold mineral patches on the fields because mules were just so overpowered on them. This is a very nice move by EmpireKas, taking this watchtower and now sieging up over here at that watchtower to be able to take out a lot of the units over here at the gold base. Some Zerg trying to swarm up, trying to get up there, but this is a very, very bad engagement angle for a Zerg player. And I think he was actually going to try to do a little bit of a run by, but there was just too much back here, even a planetary fortress, to stop Zenio from being able to do too much damage. Able to run up to that 5th base, though, 6th base, and try to do a little bit of damage up there, forced to cancel on that command center. But in the meantime, LiquidZenio is going to be losing his gold base, but he does have a nice little army macroed up back over at his 5th. And there it goes down indeed. 193 to 164 supply. A lot of harvesters over on EmpireKas' side. 97 to 72 at the moment. Not a place you want to be at. Once again, you want to stop around that 80 harvester count, because it gets to the point where you're just detracting from your army value. And he's actually still making harvesters. A lot of players, it's just kind of a gut reaction to continue making harvesters. You just kind of hit the hotkey for it. You don't even really think about it. You do have a little bit of a drop going on over here at the 5th base, but it's going to be immediately cleaned up by the Zergling Baneling that was sitting over here. So very nice positioning by LiquidZenio. I don't know if I would call it luck or just knowledge, but very good positioning by LiquidZenio. A very nice push coming out of EmpireKas. So once again, a lot of Marines and Siege Tanks, and 1 Thor just to be able to take care of any sort of Mutalisk. Dropping up onto the high ground to give vision. We do actually have some ghosts there, but the ghosts are not going to be able to do any damage as they are being surrounded by the Zergling Baneling. And indeed, those go down. A couple are picked up into the medevac. 1 fungal growth did go down, but there is no energy left for fungal growth now. Using that last one, there is a Broodlord right there to be able to do a little bit of extra damage. It's going to be kind of a close call. This hatchery is going to fall because there were a lot of ghosts and a lot of Marines around that. Just a multi-pronged attack going on everywhere. Snipes even being used on the Mutalisk to take those down as quickly as possible. Snipes going down everywhere, focusing down the Broodlord right now. It looked like a transfuse may have gone down on that right before the Queen died, but indeed it was not enough in the end. I don't know if ghosts can snipe buildings, because these buildings are technically biological units. It looks like he's now going to be starting to focus away at the drones, using snipe on the drones just for a very quick insta-kill. And it does look like Zenio is going to be able to hold this off for the moment, but it's going to be 181 to 111 supply. Zenio is going to be in a lot of pain. I don't know if he's going to be able to come back from this sort of supply deficit, but as a Zerg player, that is your forte, coming back from unmanageable situations. Even a nice fungal growth going down on these medevacs to stop them from retreating. The medevacs will be able to pick off the remaining ghosts and Marines that were in there, and now might even be able to pick off the remaining medevacs as well. An entire army of ghosts almost running across to the middle, coming up and rallying near the gold base. There are 18 ghosts on the field, as well as a couple of Reapers, just for good measure, probably to get vision on the high ground. And still making more ghosts yet. It looks like EmpireKas is going to be going for a pure ghost composition, which is going to be extraordinarily heavy on the resources. 200, 100 is how much ghosts do cost. All of these are almost all full on energy, so they, not full, I guess. They have a lot of energy, though. They're ranging from about 80 to about 150 energy. Scan does go down on top of the Zerg army, and it's looking awfully snipeable right now. And really, the Broodlord's going to fall instantly. The Infections are going to fall instantly. The Infections do throw a couple of fungal growths down on the Ghosts, but really, that's not the best counter to Ghosts, because ghosts do have quite a bit of health. And there's the GG from LiquidZenio in game number 3. So EmpireKas is up 2-1 in this series. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Coffee Break, and I thank you for joining me here on the CoffeeCast. I am going to go ahead and call it a night at that game. However, I will be casting the game number 4 and game number 5 between EmpireKas and LiquidZenio tomorrow at some point, and those will be up on my YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/user/coffeebreak951. That is coffee break with an O 951. I will go ahead and link that in the chat so that you guys can go and subscribe to that. So it's just really easy to come and find me. So it's easy to find the VODs. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and log off for the night. Once again, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate those of you who are out there tonight. And with that, this is Coffee Break, signing out.